On March 18, 1984, two men kicked in the president of the Glucose Company's front door, tied his wife up, tied his kids up, busted in the bathroom where he was showering, drug him out of the shower butt naked, threw him in the back of the car, tied him up, kidnapped him. They then sent a demand for a ransom of 1 billion yen, which is about $9 million today, and 200 pounds of gold bullion. But the company ended up not having to pay the ransom because the president, Izaki, managed to escape from the kidnappers all by himself. It soon became apparent that made the kidnappers irritable and really made them upset. So they was like, hey, we got to do something a little more here then. So not long after he escaped, 6 cars at the Glico factory were set on fire, went up in flames. Then not long after that, someone sent a container of hydrochloric acid. And if Izaki hadn't already gotten the hint, his tormentors also started sending threatening letters that were quickly published by newspapers. One of the letters read, "To the police, fools, are you all stupid? What are you doing with all that manpower?" They also wrote a letter to the police. It was like, hey, let me give you some clues. Here's how to catch us. Our car is gray. We shop at this major food chain supermarket. They was like, hey, that should be enough information for you to catch us. And at the end of that letter, they put another threat. Shall we kidnap the head of police too? And they signed that letter, The Monster with 21 Faces, which was a nod to a novel some guy wrote that had The Fiend with 21 faces in the novel. None of this helped police track them down. It just more clues, more going nowhere with it. So the threats got worse. In mid-May, the Monster with 21 Faces claimed, hey, we placed several packs of cyanide-laced Glico candy on store shelves. Police nor the candy company had any way of knowing which candies was supposedly laced with cyanide. So the only thing the company could do was just recall all of their candy. So that's what they did. They recalled all their candy from all the stores that had their candy on the shelf. As a result of that recall, Glico saw its profits plummet and had to lay off about 1,000 workers. President Izaki soon admitted that the kidnappers' gambit had cost Glico $130 million in sales. And if you've ever seen the candy Pocky in convenience stores or anywhere, that's one of the candies Glico makes. It's a popular candy they make. Now, with them saying they laced candy, the police never found evidence that the Monster with 21 Faces had actually laced any Glico candy, but they couldn't chance it. They was like, hey, they said they did it. We got to take it serious. We got to pull the candy. But by that June, it kind of seemed like they was ready to abandon its torment. The president of Glico had already gone around with his head hanging down long enough, the Monster with 21 Faces wrote. They also wrote, in our group, there's a 4-year-old kid. Every day he cries for Glico. It's a drag to make a kid cry because he's deprived of the candy he loves. So that let the people of Japan breathe a little easy. The candy lovers, like, we ain't got to worry with that no more. But the Monster with 21 Faces hadn't given up. Instead, they was going to focus on another candy company. So in September 1984, the group targeted another major company, Morinaga. They ordered Morinaga to pay some money or they would face drastic consequences. Morinaga company was like, we ain't worried about that, so they refused to pay. So the Monster with 21 Faces sent out another threatening letter that upped the ante. He said, hey, we've added some special flavor. The flavor of potassium cyanide is a little bitter. The group explained that they had left 20 boxes in stores from Hakata to Tokyo filled with cyanide-laced candies. But don't worry, they said, hey, we left a note on it saying this candy's poisoned. So with that, the police was like, hey, we got to get out here and get this candy off the shelf. We got to, tell the stores to pull it. We got to get it gone. And after all said and done, they did find boxes of poison candy with a sticker affixed to them that read, danger, contains poison, you'll die if you eat. Signed, the mystery man with 21 faces. For months, the police in Japan did everything they could to find the Monster with 21 Faces as threats mounted against other companies. They examined hours of surveillance footage. They even released audio of a woman and a child demanding money on behalf of the group, hoping someone could identify them, but no one ever came forward and said, hey, I know them. So in June, the Monster with 21 Faces made another offer to the candy company for 50 million yen. They gave instructions of the money drop. They gave it to the police. You know, hey, we'll stop if you pay this money. So with the hopes of catching the Monster with 21 Faces, the police and the company was like, hey, we'll go ahead and put the money where they want the money drop to be. Whoever comes and picks it up, we got them. So what they had to do was an employee for the candy company ride a train, throw the money out of the white flag. So a police officer dressed up as an employee of the candy company rode the train, had the money on him, and as he rode the train, he was looking for a white flag, I guess outside the window. When he seen the white flag, that was his cue to throw the money. Well, he never seen the white flag, but he did notice a guy on the train watching him, a well-built guy. Said the guy had eyes like a fox, so this guy became known as the Fox-eyed Man. He's one of the two people kind of identified in this whole thing. There was one other guy who was identified as the videotaped man, who was discovered earlier in the case with the Glico candy goings. He was videotaped putting Glico candy on the shelf. But that's all they had was the videotaped man and the Fox-eyed Man. They never identified the videotaped man because he was hiding his face kind of under a baseball cap. They never could get a clear view of his face. After police looked at it, the Fox-eyed Man, the videotaped man, and they could put together what they could see, they came to the conclusion that, hey, this is the same guy. It could have been two guys, but they think it may be the same guy, but they're not sure. So in August of 1985, the stress of the case had gotten to the head of the police so bad, he felt like he's failed the public. Kids can't eat candy. I mean, I guess it was really eating at him, so he poured kerosene over his head and set himself on fire and unalived himself. So with him doing that, the Monster with 21 Faces reacted and said, how stupid of him. They also seemed mollified. So after the police did that, the group said, we decided to give our condolences. We decided to forget about torturing food companies. If anyone blackmails any other food making companies, it's not us, but someone copying us. Signing off, they added, we are bad guys. That means we've got more to do other than bullying companies. It's fun to lead a bad man's life. Signed, Monster with 21 Faces. And that was the last anyone ever heard anything from the Monster with 21 Faces. So that's it, guys. I mean, what do you think about this case? Do you think this is a little much with candy? I mean, what do you think the guy did it for? Why was he torturing candy companies? Why was he messing with candy company presidents? Why do that to candy companies? What did the candy companies do to him? What's your thoughts? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know either way. And as always, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen. And as always, you guys be safe. Take care of each other. See ya.